These outlets are controlling every aspect of our life. Everyone. This is what we look at. We're on our phones. It's some social media platform. As I tell you, download TikTok. TikTok's the only platform I know that makes me laugh, that makes me feel good. It focuses on the topics I'm looking at. It's not like people getting angry in your face and pissed off. At least I'm laughing and it's fun and it's cool and you're seeing things that, you usually don't see and you can scroll do it right away. It's unbelievable. But a lot of these platforms, just the hate. And how they're controlling every aspect of our lives in every industry, including ours. You don't think so? Look at GameStop. GameStop is at $230 again. Why? Because they're getting into NFTs? Is it that easy? If it's that easy, I think I may announce that. Maybe our stock will go into $10, $20, $30 billion valuation. Even though they're completely late to the party and they know very little about this field. But the stock's surging, 14, 15% today because of that. And what's next? They're going to buy Bitcoin. Then they're going to get into AI. They're going to use all the buzzwords, right? And then they're going to say, you know what? We're going to launch a spaceship. Doesn't matter when. You can do it 50 years from now. We're going to launch a spaceship, AI capabilities, going to be able to post social media. Just put in, it's funny because all these companies put in the buzzwords, right? They put in the buzzwords. They get excited. Doesn't matter about revenues or earnings, right? Look where GameStop is. Look where AMC is. And people really going to movies right now? No. But these names are surging because there's massive campaigns through social media, Reddit to push these names higher. And take Bitcoin, a sector talking about for 4 years now. It's an industry that we're in. We have our crypto intelligence newsletter. Let's subscribe us to that. And our Curzio equity owners security token, the first ever to launch a security token. It's available on a foreign exchange for retail investors. If you launch a security token today in the U.S., it's almost impossible to get it trading. T0 has a few. Other than that, you can't for retail investors. So I love this industry. I believe in it. I don't believe in the people pumping Bitcoin no matter what the price is, saying you're an idiot if you're not buying it. Just keep buying it. Hold on for dear life. All this stuff, believe it or not, used to be illegal. The SEC would ban you from pumping anything. And they usually fine you after you sell it. It's got to be damages there. If there's no damages, then, if you hold something forever, they got nothing to sue you for because it can go back down. But once you don't know what's going on, who's selling, who's buying it after what they're saying on social media. But so many pumpers. But the SEC would find it and ban all these pumpers immediately. And you say, okay, yes, you do have this stuff, but Bitcoiners claim we're never going to sell. We're holding on for dear life. Newsflash. Someone was freaking selling Bitcoin since it crashed over 40%. Over $1 trillion was wiped off the total market cap of cryptos in 2 weeks? Somebody was selling it. I could tell you how many people were pumping it over 50,000. But hey, if you're allowed to pump and dump it, everyone is doing it, then of course everyone's going to follow. Why not? That's what we do. If someone's doing something and benefiting from it, you're going to be like, you know what? I want to do the same thing. Why not? They're doing it. It's like our school system. We have really great teachers, and a lot of teachers will meet this, they're good with. We have a lot of shitty teachers too, who barely do the minimum. I see that with my daughter. They don't even put the grades in. She gets grades and she got 200s on a test that weren't even put in the system for 3 to 4 weeks. And it was showing a C, and then finally put it in and showed an A. What do you do? Isn't that your job to put this stuff in the system? But they're just like, whatever. You ask them questions, they give you one-word answers. They don't want you asking any questions. There's a lot of crappy teachers out there. But you know what? Most get paid the same. I can see some teachers say, I'm working my ass off here, and the person next to me doesn't give a shit. So why should I give up more of my free time? And again, they'll say, well, it's about the kids. And I get it. Those are good teachers. But you could see that, right? You could see that happening. The system almost promotes you to do less work and also encourages to promote the narrative. Since if you have tenure as a teacher, you can't get fired, right? You can't get fired for almost anything. Almost anything. Allows you to teach classes about whatever you want. White privilege, why capitalism is racism, or whatever. Why do you think these teachers are doing that now? They don't get fired for this. They might have to leave a school or something or go someplace else or whatever, or step down, but they have tenure. They could talk about whatever they want. Forget about the parents. The parents don't know all this stuff. They've been conditioned the last 10 years on all this garbage. Now it's really coming to a head. You can do whatever you want. Why not? That's the system we're in. Now, when it comes to social media, I get it. I get why so many individual investors are going to pump their favorite stocks. Everybody's doing it. It's pumping. This is great. Buy this, buy that. I see it all over Twitter all the time. So I try to follow a lot of people. And then I had my nephew come in. Joe Davity came in, and it was great. We had him interviewed twice. And the first time he said he's doing really well. And then he got crushed on ESG stocks, right? He's 21 years old. And I was asking him, you're down a lot of these stocks. He's like, I'm going to hold them. He's like, I'm holding them. I don't want to lose it. I'm holding them. I'm like, well, that opportunity cost of buying whatever. I mean, it was a great interview. Got lots of great comments on frankcurzioresearch.com. But when I asked him and said, well, where'd you get these stocks from? Oh, I follow this guy on YouTube. Did he tell you to sell it or tell you what to do? No. So he's telling you where to buy it, but he disappears when you need him most. For me, that would never, ever happen with my services. I mean, that's when you need me the most. That's what you pay me for. When things are going on, I'm not going to send you as many alerts compared to if I'm wrong on something, telling you exactly what to do because I'm going to be wrong on certain things. Everybody's wrong in this industry sometimes. I got to be right more time than I'm wrong, or no one will listen to this podcast and no one will subscribe to my services. I've been doing a very good job in the portfolios for a very long time throughout my career. I love what I do. But I understand my investors. I understand that they want to know, and most investors, when I'm telling you, the emails I get from almost everyone who's a subscriber, a lot of people listen to this, it's always about asking me when a stock is down. It's not like, Frank, here it is. It's like, Frank, what should we do? Should we be selling here? Should we buy more? They just want to be told what to do. That's what they pay for. You don't have that through the social media and all these platforms. I mean, I had a guy, a big influencer, who we were going to have on, and we were planning it. Has a ton of followers. I was going to interview him. And he came back and he said, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this. Plus, I don't like negativity, so you can't say anything negative. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm like, what does he mean saying that? I mean, haven't you done like 1% of research? Whenever I interview a guest, I know every single thing about them and everything they said over the past 6 months. All the interviews they did, everything. That's my job, to vet them, to research, to make sure I'm asking them those questions. And I know the questions I'm asking are probably the questions my audience wants to know the answers to as well. This way I'm educating myself, educating you. That's preparation. A lot of preparation goes into this podcast. A lot. And I love it. I love learning about these people, different investment styles. If they have a different opinion than me, it's fine. It's cool. You're able to back it up. And, that's why we got some amazing guests, and one coming up pretty soon. But for this person to not even do one bit of research on anything, that I've been doing podcasts for 14 years, and see how my interviews are, seeing the quality of people that I interview, and him worried about saying, why are you worried about, like, what do you have to hide? That you're saying you worry about me asking negative questions or talking negative? This is the YouTube generation. There it is. I'm going to tell you exactly how to buy stocks, how to make a fortune, but when you get crushed, hey, where are you now? But I could see, like, those individual investors watching these platforms, and they get to pump their favorite stocks on other social media platforms. And they don't have to let anyone know when they're selling them. They could pump them, go higher, get a whole bunch. You're saying, well, it's 1 or 2 people. Reddit has what? Last time I looked, I think it was 7 to 8 million. They might have 10, 12 million Wall Street bets. That's a huge influential crowd that was able to push a stock higher and almost bankrupt, what was it, a $10 billion hedge fund, Melvin Capital, where it needed billions in infusion and cash infusion? You talk about a lot of people, a lot of influence there. Knowing that this person is short and we keep pushing high, he's got no choice but to get out of this thing. It's forced selling, it's going to go higher and higher and higher. But the way the system is set up, it promotes this. It promotes, like, even the people that aren't doing it, where they're watching it, saying, hey, I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, it's like people who are unemployed right now. Why would you go back to work when you're making more money staying home? I mean, that makes sense, right? You can be pissed off at them, but why would you do that? Most people hate their job. I happen to love my job, but a lot of people hate their job. If you're going to get paid to more money to stay home and do whatever you want, have fun, play video games, go out, exercise, whatever, why wouldn't you do that, right? So it promotes the next person and the next person and the next person to do it. That makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense, and what I never expected to see, never expected, maybe I should have, is how professionals are doing the same thing. Come on, billionaires like Elon Musk, Mark Cuban promoting Dogecoin while telling everyone this is a scam. Think about that for a minute. Think about if you could remember, and I know if there's young kids, let's say if there was no social media and you actually did that and said, hey, you went on CNBC 20 years ago and you said, hey, you know what? I like this stock. I think you should buy it even though it's a fraud. You wouldn't be locked up, but you'd probably lose your license. Today, you could say that. You have Musk being able to flip-flop, right? I mean, you should have your own opinion, fine, but on Bitcoin, he's like, I'm buying it for Tesla. I'm buying it, using the balance sheet to buy, over $1 billion in Bitcoin. This is great, Bitcoin. What happened to Bitcoin when he announced that? Prices surged. Then he comes out a few weeks later saying Bitcoin uses too much energy. It's not green. I mean, stuff like this is influencing the markets to where Bitcoin was moving 5 to 10% a day over the past few weeks, even 15% in some days. But holy cow. I mean, think about that. It's crazy. I mean, the hedge fund managers bashing Tesla. These are hedge fund managers saying the company's a fraud. Elon Musk is a liar. And they're promoting how every car that crashes in a Tesla is reported like it's an airplane crash. And self-driving technology. You know how many cars have self-driving technology right now that crash? I mean, all the cars being rolled out. A lot of high-end, top-of-the-line cars, Cadillac, Escalades, they have similar technology. If they crash, you're not going to hear about it, but you hear about it with Tesla times 10 because they're short. And again, this stuff influences the markets. And as they're saying stuff on social media, you have no idea if these people are buying, selling, still on the name. And look what Tesla did at first. Elon Musk said, we're buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin went through the roof. And then all of a sudden, when they reported quarterly estimates, he said, oh, we sold some of it. We wanted to see if we could sell it. I think that's what he said. We wanted to see if you could sell it. I don't know what that means. You bought it. I'm sure you could sell it. But we all know you sold it. So you were able to book those gains and make the quarterly numbers because of that. So basically, you pumped up Bitcoin, it went up tremendously, and then you sold it and profited for your company. Isn't that pump and dump? But we really have no idea if these people are buying, selling, still in it, whatever. But all of this is illegal. It's illegal in our industry. It's illegal. But on social media, hey, it's perfectly fine. You could do that. Nobody cares.